watching Rock and Metal News right here with Vinny fucking Paul from Hell Yeah, come on!
Hey guys, this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News with a Rock and Metal News CD review of the new Fear Factory titled The Industrialist. The Industrialist is a concept album. The protagonist, being the Industrialist, is the incarnation of all industries in the form of an automaton. The mechanical, technological, and scientific advances through the industrial age led to the creation of the Industrialist. In the story, the automaton becomes sentient as it collects memories with each passing day. Through observation and learning, it gains the will to exist. What was meant to help man will eventually be man's demise. Kind of reminds me of HAL 2000 and 2001 Space Odyssey, as HAL became sentient kind of and started killing the crew. It's in April 2012, after announcing their new drummer, Dino Cazares, it was announced that no drummer was used on the album, with the band instead choosing programmed drums with the help from John Sankey. The Industrialist is the upcoming 8th studio album from the industrial metal band Fear Factory, scheduled for release on June the 5th, 2012. The first song is called The Industrialist. Prelude has some prelude in it with some spoken word, how we're destroying our own world. The beat comes in and it's got a real nice drum sound actually to it. They program the drums, but it's got a real cool, good heavy sound to them. That's for sure. Great crunchy guitars, excellent sound on the guitars. This song basically is about greed, corruption, ignorance of corporations, and it's a kicker. It's probably one of the highlights for me, and a good 6-minute opener, and it's a really good song. Number 2 is one of my first favorites from the album. It's called Recharger. That's the one that they've kind of released now as a stream. You can check it out on the net. It's got a really catchy chorus in it. It's probably one of the catchiest songs for me after I've listened to the album a bunch of times, and I like it. It's got a great melody in it, excellent voice, and it's basically live for today or fade away. So it's got a real neat breakdown feel in it as well. Number 3 is called New Messiah. The Future Begins Now. And it's a nice crunchy guitar in it. Really cool samples thrown in on this one. The vocals again are great on the chorus. They got, it's kind of it's got some clean vocals on the chorus. A nice breakdown feel in this one as well. And it has a neat flange effect on the guitar near the end of that song. Number 4 is called God Eater. This one starts with some synth plus some piano, opens this song up. It's got some really cool guitar in it. It's got some short, clean vocals to begin with the effects on them. And it's got some really nice, some neat effects on the guitar in this one. Clean vocals in the chorus. And you can tell a bit on this one that the sampled drums on the snare kind of stand out a bit. And it's got kind of a neat breakdown feel in this one as well. And it looks like they're sort of keeping up with the times. And this one here had quite a lot of effects in it, but it's another good song. The next one is called Depraved Mind Murder. This one here has got some really cool double beats in it. And it's got some eerie synth sounds and some good clean vocals again in it. And I think the drumming is the kind of the highlight of this. They did some cool drum programs in this one. Number 6 is Virus of Faith. This one here, it starts off with a sound of steel being pounded or pile driven, and there's just a fury of drums that opens it up with really good guitar, really fast song. It's got some neat synth, some clean vocals on the chorus again. They use a neat stereo effect in this song where they cut the left and right channels out and they kind of swap the channels back and forth, which sounds pretty cool. Number 7 is Difference Engine. This one here is a neat drum beat at the beginning, kind of different than the other songs. It's got a kind of different beat pattern in it. Then it just goes crazy. The guitar, everything just breaks out. This one here It's basically kind of like breaking the breakdown of the system. And this one here, it reminds me almost of a prong song from almost like the Cleansing era. And it's got some really slow, moody synth in it and some clean vocals for the chorus and that. And it's a really interesting song, the song structure. And Disassemble, that's one of my faves on this one. Very cool bass sound on it. It's kind of heavy. There's not a lot of clean vocals in this one. It's got some great lyrics in it. I'll take you down, burn you to the ground on this one, and probably one of my favorite songs on the album for sure. And it's just got a little bit of clean vocals in it near the ending, but it's a really great song. Number 9 is Religion is Flawed Because. This one here is about 1:52. It's kind of like a prelude to the last song, and it's basically it's some synth songs, some keys, and some heavy chords. It's actually a really interesting name for a song with no vocals in it, and a short length song. And the last one is titled Human Augmentation, and it's 9 minutes. And this one it's got spoken word in it with effects and synth samples. It's really cool, but it goes on for 9 minutes. There's no lyrics in it, and there's kind of spoken word in the background, but you can't quite. They have an effect on it. You can't quite kind of understand what they're saying, but I'm sure it's a nice wrap up for the storyline of the Industrialist. Overall, I really like the album, and I don't think there's not any bad songs on the album. That's for sure. I think the ones that stood out for me as my favorites are Disassemble, The Industrialist, and Recharger. Just some real neat uses of samples and things like that, and some synth on it. So good for Fear Factory. Definitely recommend picking it up. I think you will like it. And this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News, and thanks for tuning in.